In a move that's sending shockwaves through Washington, President Trump has ordered the complete release of the JFK, RFK, and MLK assassination files after decades of secrecy. The truth about what really happened to these American icons is finally coming to light, but that's not all. Trump's also terminated Fauci's multi-million-dollar security detail and pardoned 23 pro-life activists who were persecuted by the Biden administration. Plus, his bold proposal to make Canada the 51st state has Putin worried about Russia's economic future. And the deep state's in panic mode as Trump systematically dismantles their power structure. You will not believe what's in the documents. Now, patriots, while the deep state tries to hide their secrets, there's one secret they can't keep: the truth about your retirement savings. Just like these classified files were concealed for decades, your retirement funds are being devalued by forces beyond your control. At Global Gold Investments, they believe in transparency, and that's why they're offering a 2025 Protect Your Wealth and Retirement Guide absolutely free when you call 888-700-4148. Don't let your retirement become another government cover-up. Call now. Mention Next News to receive complimentary portfolio analysis plus up to $1,000 in free silver for January rollovers. Okay, let's jump into it. President Trump, this is just in. President Trump has ended Dr. Anthony Fauci's security detail, which has been provided and funded by the National Institute of Health. It's about time. That guy was milking so much taxpayer money to protect him. And we've got this here. We've got Trump held a call with the Prime Minister of Denmark. Did you hear about this? And they are freaking out so badly that they are now in crisis mode. Here is the readout on the call. Many European officials had hoped that his comments about seeking control of Greenland for national security reasons were a negotiating ploy to gain more influence over the NATO territory. Russia and China are also jostling for position in the Arctic. But the call with the Federation has crushed such hopes, deepening the foreign policy crisis between the NATO allies. The intent was very clear. They want it. The Danes are now in crisis mode, said one person briefed on the call. Another said the Danes are utterly freaked out by this. Good. I'm happy about that. We got this also. January 6th. Look at this. Look at another beautiful reunion. A dad finally returning home after being pardoned by Donald Trump. Yes, the love is flowing with this new administration. Yes, this is called real joy, not the manufactured joy from the Kamala Harris campaign. Also, enforcement update: arrests, 538 arrests, 373 detainers already lodged. Yes, the enforcements for Donald Trump's ICE enforcement is happening. Now we got this. This is pure wholesome goodness. Let's see what's going on here.
Justin, you are the best looking guy, and I got your message.
Hear me out on this one. Have lunch in the White House with Donald Trump.
So when you're better, which will be very soon, you're going to come to the White House, and I'm going to be with you, and we're going to spend a lot of time together. We're going to talk about the history of the White House and even the history of our government, the history of our country, because I know you like that. But we're going to have a good time. We're going to have lunch, and you're going to bring your friends and your parents, and it's going to be something special. So get better quickly, because I really want to spend some time with you. Take care.
Oh, wow.
Thanks, Justin.
That looks like somebody who may have fallen victim to cancer. Remember, Joe Biden said he was going to cure cancer during his administration. Well, that certainly didn't happen. But it looks like Justin is about to get the experience of a lifetime. And we have this from Il Donald Trumpo. You know, that's the satire account. I love that account. But let's see what's going on here. Fauci can hire his own security. Let's
the people you tell.
Would you feel partially responsible if something were to happen to, say, Dr. Fauci?
No. You know, they all made a lot of money. They can hire their own security, too. All the people you're talking about, they can go out. I can give them some good numbers of very good security people. They can hire their own security. They all made a lot of money. Fauci made a lot of money. They all did. So.
Ah, yes, referencing Dr. Fauci. How much money did he make off the pandemic? And then we got this. Oh, this is solid gold. Yes, Donald Trump ripping Adam Schiff to shreds today. Here's more.
Wanted to come on I was told the Schiff was going to travel with us to California. I wasn't thrilled, to be honest with you. And I saw him last night on television. It looks like he got hit with a baseball bat or something. What happened to him? Something happened to him. It looked like he got hit. It looked like he got beat around. But I'll ask Caroline to find out what happened to him. No, if he wanted to come out, I would have done that. But I don't know. Somebody said that he wanted to come on the plane, but I think he's staying back for the votes. There's some pretty good votes going on. Yeah.
Yeah, keep Adam Schiff far away from Air Force One. And then there's also the Trump administration. Here's more details on. I think this is probably better audio than the last clip.
When you work for what?
The security detail for Anthony Fauci was terminated last night, sir. Do you have a comment?
No, I think, when you work for government, at some point your security detail comes off. And, you can't have them forever. So I think it's very standard. If it would be for somebody else, who wouldn't be asking the question. The question is very fair. But, you work for government. We took some off, other people too. But you can't have a security detail for the rest of your life because you work for government. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Do you feel partially responsible if something were to happen to, say, Dr. Fauci or John Bolton?
No. They all made a lot of money. They can hire their own security, too. All the people you're talking about, they can go out. I can give them some good numbers of very good security people. They can hire their own security. They all made a lot of money. Fauci made a lot of money. They all did. So if they, felt that strongly, I think that certainly I would not take responsibility. What?
The security.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye to the government money paying for their security. Donald Trump saying no tariffs on Canada if they become the 51st state. Oh, my. Let's listen.
I would love to see Canada be the 51st state. The Canadian citizens, if that happened, would get a very big tax cut, tremendous tax cut, because they're very highly taxed. And you wouldn't have to worry about military. You wouldn't have to worry about many of the things. You'd have better health coverage. You'd have much better health coverage. So I think the people of Canada would like it, if it's explained. But just to start off, they'd have a massive tax cut, and they'd have a lot more business, because then we'd let business go to Canada routinely, and there'd be no tariffs.
No tariffs, yeah, if they become the 51st state. Finally, a president who is healthy enough to use the full staircase on Air Force One. America is back, baby.
Democrats who heard that now scrambling to join the president's fire roundtable in California. Governor Gavin Newsom said he'll be on the tarmac when Trump arrives there later today. It follows threats to withhold disaster aid to that state until they better manage their resources. And we are watching
a lot of relationships in the Trump world, a lot of relationships of trust. I communicate with a lot of folks around him, folks that have his ear and influence. I don't want. This is a sideshow, a lot of this stuff, but I know it's the show that will probably be the focus of a little bit too much tomorrow, when all I care about is what we can do together.
So we're seeing the president just descend the steps of Air Force One. He's on the ground in Fletcher, North Carolina. He'll get a briefing in a hangar there from some local officials. He hasn't telegraphed much about what overhauls to FEMA he's planning, but it follows criticism that this agency's been biased against Republicans. You'll recall that they had to fire an employee on their hurricane relief team for telling responders not to visit Florida homes that had Trump yard signs after Hurricane Milton. There was a lot of criticism over FEMA's response to this hurricane in Asheville.
Oh, yeah, baby. America is back. Donald Trump using the big boy stairs. Okay, what else have we got on the list? We've got this. Okay, praise God. President Trump plans to pardon the pro-life activists who were imprisoned by the Biden regime.
So right now, I'm about to drive my wife to a federal facility she has to surrender herself there. And this is due to the Harris-Biden administration. And any husband in this country, anyone that's married knows, any mother, any father knows that separation from your loved one, separation from a mother and a daughter at 2 years old is traumatic, and no American citizen should have to experience this in this country. Obama has the audacity to speak to black men and tell black men they need to vote for Kamala Harris, when Kamala Harris administration is separating me from my wife and my wife from her daughter at 2 years old for unlawful assembly. My wife is facing 3.5 years for unlawful assembly and federal time, y'all. Okay, federal time. And it's devastating for our family, but we're gonna get through this. But I want people to know in this country, mothers, fathers, single mothers, that this cannot be tolerated, and you should not vote for Kamala, because voting for Kamala would do things like this.
Well, thankfully, Kamala didn't win, and now Donald Trump is going to be pardoning those folks. Here is something. You'll never hear about this pardon on the mainstream media. God bless Donald Trump. Let's listen.
Trump pardon. So did y'all hear about this? No, you didn't hear about it. You know why? Because it makes Trump look good. They don't want anything to make Trump look good. Trump pardons pro-life activist Beverly Williams, who was imprisoned by the Biden administration for protesting outside abortion clinic. This lady been in prison or in jail all this time. Kamala didn't make a peep about this. She didn't talk about it in her speeches. All she wanted to do was bring out Megan Thee Stallion and Glorilla to twerk and give Beyonce all y'all money that y'all donated. I ain't talking about y'all, but the people who don't like my videos, the ones that come over here creeping like roaches and come and tell me about myself, tell me I'm not black enough. Well, she must have wasn't black enough for y'all, because y'all didn't even care about her being locked up. Well, now she's free. Thank you, God, and thank you, Trump, the non-racist president.
Yeah, baby. The non-racist
So did y'all
president.
hear about this?
Yeah, we heard about it now. Thank you, President Trump. He's on a roll. We are only at day 5. Oh, I think we've got the actual footage here. Oh, God bless him. God bless him.
Exercising their first. Next, we have a set of pardons for peaceful pro-life protesters who were prosecuted by the Biden administration for exercising their First Amendment rights.
Do you know how many?
I believe it's 23, sir.
23 people were prosecuted. They should not have been prosecuted. Many of them are elderly people. They should not have been prosecuted. This is a great honor to sign this. They'll be very happy. So they're all in prison now.
Some are out of custody.
It's ridiculous.
Next, we have
absolutely ridiculous, without question, man. So many wrongs are being righted because President Trump is now back in power. Putin reportedly concerned over Russia's economy ahead of possible Trump tariffs. Yeah, well, maybe just wrap up that whole Ukraine war problem and we can get this thing sorted out, right? Here we have David Harris Jr. Reporting 19 hours ago on the Hannity interview. Let's listen.
Joe Biden.
The Hannity interview with President Trump.
To give pardons to everybody but him. They wanted to take care of. Yeah, but Sean, they wanted to. I don't care.
They're yelling at me.
This is more important because right now the economy is going to do great.
I want to know about
I'm
the
here, so the Joe Biden to give pardons to everybody but him.
Joe Biden gave pardons to everybody but him. Check this out. Once dismissed Trump's Iron Dome for America missile shield now within reach. As you know, Israel has something like that. And now Donald Trump is talking about creating something for the United States. Here is Bevelin Williams, peaceful pro-life activist. I believe this is the same gentleman who we saw earlier talking about when he had to drop his wife off at the federal detention facility.
Look at mama. Look at mama.
Look at us.
Oh my. Oh my goodness. Get a room, bro. Get a room, bro.
Here. Woo! Go, 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 go.
Oh my goodness.
Go, 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 go.
Oh wow.
Go ahead.
Oh man.
You still smell good. You still smell good. It don't matter if you're in the pit of hell. Somebody gonna smell good. No, girl, you know how you gonna stink.
Oh man, there's gonna be a lot of moments like this. I mean, this is the most beautiful time to be alive in the United States right now, friends. And then we got this. This is interesting. 10 hours ago, Insurrection Barbie. Reporter explains that during the Biden years, when he was at the White House, there was never a Marine in front of the Oval Office, but now there is constantly a Marine in front. Wonder why.
Comparison, an observation that I have made, given the fact that I've covered the Biden administration throughout the week, throughout the weekends. Generally speaking, there is a Marine standing outside the Oval Office whenever the president is in there working. The last 2 days here, today and yesterday, myself being at the White House, that Marine is constantly outside the Oval Office, signaling that the president is in there working for the American people. The Marine was never out there during the Biden administration. It was a very rare occurrence. If you did, the Marine was out there. It was very rare if it was, but by comparison, the Marine has always been out here the last 2 days. And when a lid was called yesterday, the lid was called around 7, 8 o'clock yesterday, the Marine remained out there after the lid was called, signaling that Donald Trump was working late into the night for the American people. Meanwhile, by comparison, lids during the Biden administration were routinely called at 11 a.m.
I have to say, when the commander-in-chief, when the boss in charge is outworking everyone, it sets a totally different standard for the entire country, all of the employees. I mean, think about it. When you work at a corporation and your boss is the first person in, the last person out, everyone better be working hard.
Yeah! America's back, baby! America is back. Okay, what else have we got here? We've got this clip. This came in from Trump laying out 2 conditions for Los Angeles and all of California to follow after being asked about potentially withholding disaster aid. Let's listen.
After that, I will.
Oops.
The great.
Funding to Los Angeles because of its sanctuary city policy.
I want to see 2 things in Los Angeles: voter ID, so that the people have a chance to vote, and I want to see the water be released and come down into Los Angeles and throughout the state. Those are the 2 things. After that, I will be the greatest president that California has ever seen. I want the water to come down and come down to Los Angeles and also go out to all the farmland that's barren and dry. You know, they have land that they say is the equivalent of the land in Iowa, which is about as good as there is anywhere on earth. The problem is it's artificial because they artificially stop the water from going onto the land. So I want 2 things. I want voter ID for the people of California, and they all want it. Right now, you don't have voter ID. People want to have voter identification. You want to have proof of citizenship. Ideally, you have one-day voting, but I just want voter ID as a start, and I want the water to be released, and they're going to get a lot of help from the U.S. Thank you very much. I'll see you in a little while.
Let the water flow. Oh, yes, baby. Let the water flow. We've got even more. Check this out. President Trump, of course, as you saw, has canceled Fauci's security detail. According to Jordan Schatzel, Fauci had $15 million in U.S. Marshals and a fully staffed detail. When that ended, NIH clandestinely used taxpayer money to fund private detail for Fauci. who has around $20 million in his bank account. We're also learning this. DOGE. I love the DOGE. DOGE could cut $2 trillion by targeting waste in Medicare and Medicaid, reducing defense spending, eliminating federal subsidies, streamlining bureaucracy. Significant cuts in discretionary and mandatory spending are key. Uh-oh. Speaking of cuts, what do we have here? We have a federal employee. Oh, a federal employee upset about DOGE and DEI being abolished. Cry me a river.
Related to DEI. As a government employee, what's so ironic about all of this shit going on with Trump making us go in person 5 days a week to promote efficiency and also establishing the department.
Wait a minute. Is she complaining about going to work? Is she complaining about going to work? I think she is.
Us go in person 5 days a week to promote efficiency and also establishing the Department of Government Efficiency, the DOGE. What's really funny is because of all of this news and all of the change in policy, we are yapping more at work. We are trying to digest everything that's going on. We cannot get any work done because of how much information intake that existing in this administration requires. And we're not yapping.
Oh my goodness. Too much information. I'm a government employee. Donald Trump's actually working for the American people, and he's making us do jobs. We have to go to work now 5 days a week. We're spending all of our time around water coolers complaining because all Joe Biden was doing was eating applesauce and requesting more ice cream. And she's complaining? See, this is what leadership looks like, honey. Buckle up. Why don't you just go find another job?
That, existing in this administration requires. And we're not yapping just to yap. We're yapping because every single day a memo comes down from God knows where, telling us that there's a new rule that we need to enforce that for a job that does not relate to what we're doing. You work for the FDA, guess what? Now you're gonna have to enforce immigration. Any fucking federal employee, guess what? Go snitch on your fucking colleagues if they do anything related to DEI now. This week has been such a whirlwind, I cannot get work done. As a government employee, what's so ironic.
Cry me a river. Cry me a river. Wow. We have this. Musk finding $100 million of our money being laundered through football? What? Oh boy, what is this?
So as I mentioned in my last summary of Elon's cuts, these next ones will be all around football and things that he found in the government that just aren't making sense. For example, the National Huddle Standardization Board. This board spent $12 million annually ensuring football teams maintained the perfect circular huddle formation. Musk scrapped it, tweeting, "Huddles don't win games, plays do. Circular thinking, literally." Number 2, the End Zone Dance Oversight Committee. This government committee fined players for choreographic irregularities and excessive jubilation. Musk eliminated it, saying, "Let them twerk if they score. Joy doesn't need red tape." Number 3, the Bureau of Halftime Show Security. They had a $20 million budget, and this agency's sole purpose was to prevent wardrobe malfunctions. Musk dismissed it, tweeting, "We've all seen worse on Twitter. Move on." The National...
This can't be real. This cannot be real. This cannot be real. This has got to be satire.
Safety Administration. Wow. This office tested cleats for optimal traction on all turfs. Musk called it ridiculous government coddling, adding, "Just wear better shoes or play barefoot like champions." Number 5, the Department of Gatorade Color Uniformity. Come on.
Okay. I don't know about all that. That sounds like total satire to me. But we do have more in our coverage of this historic day 5. Where is day 5? We've got DOGE, part 1. I think we have this. Ah, here it is. Yes, my bad. Okay. Sorry, I got sidetracked there for a second, but we have this for the woke DEI. Speaking of that a government employee. Today, the Department of Education has put an end to Joe Biden's book ban hoax and affirmed that schools, parents, and boards have the right to remove inappropriate books. Another win for sanity. By dismissing these complaints and eliminating the position and authorities of a so-called book ban coordinator, the department is beginning the process of restoring the fundamental rights of parents to direct their children's education, said Acting Assistant Secretary for Civil Rights Craig Traynor. The department adheres to the deeply rooted American principle that local control over public education best allows parents and teachers alike to assess the educational needs of their children and communities. Amen. And then we've got this from Dinesh D'Souza.
Way. Democrats continue to push the envelope on all this until racial preferences have suffused not only our academic sector, but really the whole society. So Trump is taking an axe to something that has grown in a very profuse way in our institutional culture. But I'm delighted to see that he's going to the very beginning of it. He is chopping off ultimately the root, as I mentioned, and I'm hoping that with that, slowly, but ultimately the whole tree will begin to shake and perhaps in the end even to fall. Democrats continue to push.
What else have we got here? Costco has decided to keep its diversity, equity, and inclusion policies, standing firm against opposition, highlighting their commitment to inclusivity amidst a broader debate on corporate DEI initiatives. So Costco's not backing down. What's going on here? Is this DEI in action? What? Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens when you hire people who aren't qualified. They miss the target. Also, a female cop shooting a guy in the leg with his own gun during a traffic stop. Yes, this is more DEI in action. This is a police body cam. I don't know if we can show all of it, but here we go. I'm not going to show it because, oh, there's the gun. Bye-bye. U.S. Department of Education is taking action to eliminate DEI initiatives. This is the official post from the U.S. Department of Education. This is the first step in reorientating the agency towards prioritizing meaningful learning and implementing President Trump's vision to reform education. Let's go, baby. Speaking of DEI, yes, it does have its consequences. The Philadelphia mayor doesn't even know how to spell the word Eagles. How sad.
Let me hear you all say E-L-G-L-E-S, Eagles! Let's go, Birds! Let me hear you all say.
Oh, that's embarrassing. That is utterly embarrassing. Trump has ended this woman's environmental justice gig with his DEI ban.
Training about. Okay. So today I was supposed to be leading a training about environmental justice for a national agency, but it was canceled an hour before it started. Why? Well, because the new federal guidelines from the Trump administration ban not only DEI trainings, but also any trainings or programs about environmental justice. And they're not stopping there. These policies go further, rolling back protections for our water, land, opening the floodgates to drilling, silencing those that are fighting for justice in any form. And to make matters worse, they're demanding a list of contractors like me who provide DEI and environmental justice trainings. And to be honest, it's terrifying.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Oh, my heart goes out to you. It goes out to you. I'm so sad. If you remember, here are some of the remarks from Donald Trump on his glorious inauguration day that we're still celebrating.
Race and this week, I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life. We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Oh, I'm waking from a nightmare.
It will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
YouTube's going to have to update their terms of service.
This week.
What else have we got here? Oh, did you check this out? There are 0 DEI hires in Trump's security detail. Remember the video from Butler where the assassination attempt occurred? Those completely out of shape women protecting him? Yeah, bye-bye. Now we got some alphas protecting the president, as it should be. We've also got this, Walmart facing backlash over decision to ditch DEI commitments. Oh, backlash from who? The 0.1% of the people who identify as they don't know what they are. And then we've got this, liberal crap, 6 hours ago, a huge win. Never thought woke Target would demolish their DEI. Unless they're lying and rebranding it, right? Okay, so next time you go to Target, you won't have to avoid the Pride section, perhaps. Okay, Christopher Rufo. Target is abolishing its DEI programs. The dominoes are starting to fall. This looks like an official statement from Target. Throughout 2025, we'll be accelerating action in key areas and implementing changes with the goal of driving growth and staying in step with the evolving external landscape. I love this corporate speak. We will continue to monitor and adjust as needed. Current actions include concluding our 3-year diversity, equity, and inclusion goals. Concluding our racial equity action and change, which is otherwise known as REACH initiatives in 2025, as planned. They're claiming it was all planned, right? Ensuring our employee resource groups are communities fully focused on development and mentorship. These communities will continue to be open to all. Further evaluating our corporate partnership to ensure they are directly connected to our roadmap for growth, stopping all external diversity-focused surveys, including HRC's Corporate Equity Index. Oh, thank you, Jesus. The HRC Corporate Equity Index has been one of the biggest pressure points for these corporations. They would they would contact these corporations. Say, well, your equity index is pretty low because you don't have a bathroom for so and so or whatever, So thankfully that's gone. What's this here? This last one. Evolving our superior diversity team to supplier engagement to better reflect our inclusive global procurement process across a broad range of suppliers, including increasing our focus on small business. So is it safe to shop at Target again? I don't know. Just be careful, right? Federal agencies begin removing DEI guidance from websites after the Trump crackdown. Time.com reporting that. And here is, what is this? This is the president of the powerful pro-LGBT organization GLAAD says they're working with the Pope. And she commended the Pope. Oh, really? Maybe they forgot that whole part of the Bible. What is it, Sodom and Gomorrah, was it? Yeah, I think that's what it was, right?
As long as... I think also, we are working with the Pope and we have been working with the Pope and other religious leaders. And I think we've seen the most movement we've ever seen. Now, we've seen some setbacks. I'm not saying anyone, and we have to be careful about progress. It's not perfect. And no one is perfect in their path to progress. We're talking about an institution that has been around as long as humankind, honestly. And so to see the Pope talk about, that gay folks can become, can enter the seminary, that he believes in blessing same-sex marriages. This is juxtaposed to what we're seeing in America, right?
Yeah. Ask some of the victims of the Catholic Church how they feel about that. And here's potentially the next Canadian Prime Minister. He's going after woke too.
By gender, woke has one purpose, only one purpose. Plenty of pretexts, but only one purpose: control. It is designed to divide people by race, by gender, by ethnicity, by religion, by vaccine status, and any other way that they can divide people into groups. Because why? Then you can justify having a government to control all those groups. No more woke. We need free.
Yeah, no more woke, baby. No more woke. Here is Anton Daniels. If you need DEI to keep or get your job, you were never qualified in the first place. Let's hear what he has to say.
Back into the office.
I do like his glasses.
What's going on?
I like those glasses. What are those? Oh, those are Versace glasses, I think. Nice. Okay, anyway.
What's going on, friends and family? I see it's a lot of chatter online about Trump's executive orders for diversity, equity, and inclusion, as well as federal workers being required to go back into the office. Let's address first the requirement to go back into the office. If you were already supposed to be in the office prior to COVID, but then you benefited from it by being able to work from home, you should have never adjusted your expectations to go and live and work in Mexico City or be a passport bro, or being able to move out into the suburbs and buying a home 2 hours away from where you used to go into your corporate office. You need to understand that that was a blessing, not necessarily an expectation, but I think that because a lot of people work from home now, or a lot of people had adjusted to that, then they automatically expected for that to be forever. And they was listening to people on TikTok and Instagram give them financial advice or career advice, and you shouldn't have in the first place. So get your ass back to work. That's number one. And diversity, equity, and inclusion. If you have to worry about that in order to keep your job, then you was already in trouble. I've never seen a corporate environment or a manager say that they're not going to continue to hire somebody based off of how great they are, or what value that they add, or whether or not they're a cultural fit. If you are great at what you do, then you don't ever have anything to worry about. If you got your position because of your identity, then you probably shouldn't have that job in the first place. And why would you even want to work for a place that hired you based off of your identity, or it's not a good fit, or you don't like the culture, or you feel like they racist, or any of that type of stuff, even though you probably got delusions of grandeur in your head? Why would you want to work for a place like that in the first place? Wouldn't you want to more or less go with an organization that aligns with your ideals and values, and whether or not you're a cultural fit in the first place? Just something to think about. What's going on, friends and family? I see it's a lot of chatter online about Trump's executive orders for diversity, equity, and inclusion.
About it all. Oh yeah, baby, we got more. We got more. We got more. Here is Billboard Chris. He's out in the streets, and he is affirming that there are two genders. I love Billboard Chris. Bank of America. Remember that when Donald Trump went after them at Davos? Said you guys are debanking conservatives. Well, they went ahead and they went ahead and issued a statement. Bank of America says they serve more than 70 million clients, and we welcome conservatives. We would never close accounts for political reasons, and we don't have a political litmus test. Yeah, I don't think that's true. Just ask General Flynn. And then we've got this from Javier Milei. I love this guy. I love this guy. I hope this is in English.
Must be. Is it not true that right now, as we speak, in the UK, citizens are being imprisoned for exposing horrifying crimes committed by Muslim migrants? crimes that the government seeks to conceal? Or didn't the bureaucrats in Brussels suspend Romania's elections simply because they didn't like the party that had won? Faced with each of these discussions, wokeism's first strategy is to discredit those of us who challenge these things, first by labeling us and then by silencing us. If you're white, you must be a racist. If you're a man, you must be a misogynist or part of the patriarchy. If you're rich, you must be a cruel capitalist. If you're heterosexual, you must be heteronormative, homophobic, or transphobic. For every challenge, they have a label, and then they try to suppress you by force or through legal means. Because beneath the rhetoric of diversity, democracy, and tolerance that they so often preach, what truly lies is their blatant desire to eliminate dissent, criticism, and ultimately freedom, so they can continue to uphold a model in which they're the main beneficiary. Is it not true?
Love it, baby. I love it. Wokeism is dying on the international stage. The ATF, we brought this to your attention the other day. The ATF is accused of circumventing Trump's order to place DEI staff on paid leave. The woman you're seeing there in that picture, she was the head of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Department at the ATF, and they just simply changed her title to try to get around Trump. Well, that's not going to last. And then we have this, Juanita Broaddrick posting Senator John, I love Senator John Kennedy. What was he saying? Talking about DEI.
Yeah. I think the American people have spoken very clearly that that the best way to stop discriminating against people on the basis of race or gender is to stop discriminating against people on the basis of race and gender.
Yeah. Let's go, baby. DEI and affirmative action are essentially the same thing. When people realized affirmative action was racism and pushed back, they repackaged it into DEI. The equity part is where they really flex and make assumptions and excuses to be racist against others. Well, that's all coming to an end. Also, we have this. Following the Alabama governor signing a bill banning DEI programs from public universities, UAB Hearsink sent an email stating they're changing the name of their DEI program. They're still implementing DEI just under a different name. It's being run by the same person. So we're going to see a lot of this as they try to rebrand their institutionalized racism. And then we've got this guy, Jerry Goodnight. He's a teacher at Cobb County Schools in North Carolina, vowing to continue pushing DEI, CRT, or any other acronym in his classroom after Trump signed EO's dismantling DEI programs. So keep that in mind. And then we've got this, Senator Ted Cruz. Senator Ted Cruz, he's on the case too. He says, this was just 6 hours ago. He says, my office has been alerted about an agency contractor attempting to obscure its DEI offices and programming in direct violation of Trump administration executive orders. For the past 4 years, Democrats mandated that all taxpayer-funded scientific research and development, R&D, must incorporate DEI values. That ends now. I stand committed to working with the Trump administration to root out the harmful, discriminatory DEI activities throughout the government. So this appears to be an email that was sent out in its subject line right there. If you can see it, it says reframing DEI efforts. That says it right there. Reframing DEI efforts. This was in December 3rd of 2024. So they've been planning for this just in case President Trump comes to power, and now he is, and the party is over, and the salt must flow. So this is it, my friends. The dismantling of the deep state's decades-long grip on power. And we look at the timing, it's no coincidence that Trump chose day 5 of his presidency to unleash this bombshell. And also, there is a clear message. The era of government mandates are over. As everything continues to surface, there will be much more tears to flow. All right? The question is now, just how deep does this really go? How much rebranding are they going to have to do? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think is going to happen next? And show off your patriot pride with our exclusive Mag Avengers collection, available now at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com.